Let's just dive right in. Sounds good. Everything sounds good. Let's just go. Let's dive right in.
Great.
Here we are, The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 7, season finale, spoiler mode. What I am immediately going to say is I think this entire season fails as an adaptation, and it fails as a season of a television show regardless of that. Gabby, go.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode, activated.
Yeah, I think in some ways it fails. In some ways it succeeds, but I think ultimately as a season of television, it does indeed fail.
Yeah. There's no reality in which this was a good season because it was half of a season. And I know there's some structure to that in the game, of course, Abby, Ellie, whatever. But I just really think in this format, regardless of the cliffhanger ending, the 7 episodes we got before the cliffhanger were not a beginning, middle, and end in whatsoever. There was nothing at all for me to land on.
If I'm a Last of Us TV show watcher and I don't know anything about the game, this season ended and I was like, what?
I'm like, oh, I'll see you next week. And it's like, oh wait, that was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dropping frames.
Oh.
It's me.
Uh-oh.
It is on me. It is me. I'm dropping frames. We're hanging tough. We're coming back.
You're picking up frames.
I'm picking up frames.
Pick those frames up.
I'm trying to pick up my frames, chat.
They're everywhere. Pick up your frames.
I'm trying to pick them up. We're buckling, Gabby. We are Buckle City. We are Buckle City. Here we go. Okay, now we're back. We're back.
First time chatter jumping in to say the stream is gonna
We're back. We live. Gabby was just talking.
Please don't look at my hair.
Gabby was just talking about this season as a season from if you didn't know the game. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think if I'm just a TV show watcher, I'm actually very interested to hear from my friends who have not played the game and don't know what happens. I'm very interested to see what they think of this, because I feel as a TV watcher, if I had just seen the show, hadn't played the game, didn't know what happened in the game, at the end of this episode, I was like, what?
100%.
Like, and not in a like, no, like this, what a crazy cliffhanger. Like, I don't feel that way. I'm like,
yeah,
because in the game, that switch to Seattle Day 1 Part 2 is really like, whoa. And I think part of the shock of that is that it kind of incentivizes you to keep playing, because you're like, well, what's going on? Mm-hmm. And then with this, I was like, so I don't know anything about Abby. I don't care about her.
Yeah.
At this point in the show.
Of course.
Like,
I mean,
and I guess, I mean,
I think the moment I was really upset was really showing like Ellie caring about that kid, the Seraphite kid.
Like, I said the same thing. Hold on.
That fucking scene was
what the hell was that?
That was the only scene I think in this entire series where, as like a gamer, where I was like, unacceptable. This one
that ever happened.
This fucking pissed me off. It absolutely pissed me off. Like, super humanizing and like guilt tripping. It just, everything about like really like, hey, Ellie's a hero. And it's like, I just didn't like this scene. I think it removed, again, like my main criticism that we've had kind of every week here is that it's really talking down to the audience and it's so expository in its messaging and dialogue that this was just really kind of the straw that broke the camel's back here. Like, unacceptable.
I think one of the big issues with that part for me was that she was like, he was just a kid. And I was like, was he? Like, if that was actually a child, like a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old even,
a toddler.
I think that scene would almost make sense.
Yeah, but it was a young man. Like, teenager. What are we talking about?
Yeah. That man was made conservatively 17 years old.
Yeah. And like, Ellie,
why
like,
would Ellie be like,
freaking out about it?
He's just a kid.
Unreal.
Like,
and then and again, not even with our pre-knowledge of Ellie as a character, but we're watching this show and she's so gung-ho about sacrificing everything to kill Abby and Co. And now all of a sudden she's ready to risk her life for this random Seraphite.
Who cares?
Just to prove a point to the audience that like she's morally gray and has a conflict. And once again, I actually watched the end credits and I got even more annoyed because they said that, hammering it home like oh, everyone has
like behind the scenes.
Yeah, like, oh, everyone on the receiving end has somebody they care about. Everybody did wrong to somebody. Like, dude, Mason, stop. I'm upset.
Yeah. Wait, let's go through the episode. Because there were some things that I liked. And I wanna get into all of that. I liked that scene. I liked how they used the alcohol to like reveal kind of that she was pregnant to Jesse. I thought that was I've never seen that before. Where like, you know, you're using alcohol as in a medical sense, and then I thought that was just interesting.
Sure. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. One overarching thing, and I was saying to Huber right before we went live, I saw a kind of gamer brain take about this on Twitter that I just like, I need everyone to I don't know the word, but I need everyone to not think about it okay. Anyway, so the take I saw was like, oh, the show's afraid to make Ellie unlikable. And
well, the show is definitely making us more sympathetic to her for sure.
Yeah, and I also don't think they're afraid to make her unlikable. I think a show where the lead is as unlikable and as evil as Ellie is in the game is not a successful show. Like, no one's gonna watch that.
No way. I love watching shows with terrible lead characters. What are you talking about?
As evil as Ellie is in the game?
100%. Some evil dude, Walter White, Breaking Bad, evil ass character. Let's go.
Okay, but just like Ellie, we know that, we go on this journey with Walter. Also, Ellie is a woman.
That is neither here nor there.
Of course it is here and there.
Why? An evil character is an evil character.
No, I know, Huber, but you are kind-hearted and you see people equally, but like a show about a woman who's doing all the things that that Walter White does in Breaking Bad, like that show isn't popular. Like, I think that's cool. I'd love to watch that. But it's just not gonna work.
I get that a little bit for sure. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of any examples there where it succeeds. Other than like
Phoenix
niche
221199 shout out. Thank you for understanding me.
Yeah.
Yeah, people hated Skylar more than Walter. And she was like just trying to protect her family.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So you understand what I mean? Like
100%.
I think a little bit, yes, they're afraid to make her unlikable but I think that comes more from a marketing standpoint than it does a TV writing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even if you just look at the discourse in the history of the game, Gabby, you're absolutely correct, because Joel does horrible, despicable things, and everybody loves Daddy Joel, but Abby and Ellie both are hated by select sides of the argument of whichever side you're on. People are like, Ellie is horrible, Abby is horrible, boom, boom, boom. But that also speaks to 2's insanity as well. But there's definitely what you're talking about for sure. For sure.
Yeah. John DGC said a great point, which is basically what I'm trying to say. Audience would get whiplash coming from season 1 Ellie to season 2 sociopath Ellie, so they needed to soften her and make it more gradual.
It's definitely, yeah.
And I think
they're trying to do too much. I think that's what they're
attempting to do. I'm not necessarily saying it's successful, but it is gamer brain rot to suggest that, like, oh, they're afraid of making her unlikable. They're afraid of making her unlikable. No one watched that show, so whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just think they didn't have enough time.
I'm gonna get ripped to shreds in the comments for that, but
no. I really just don't think they had enough time to do anything. I think there's no take other than, like, we're gonna do this huge narrative in 7 episodes, and it's like, for some of those episodes,
so much time in Jackson.
You're gonna waste so much time in Jackson. You're gonna waste even though it's incredible, you're gonna waste Isaac to set up another season. You're wasting time in service of another season. And that's why I started this episode saying that it fails as a season of a TV show, because it is not a season whatsoever. That was one of the worst season finales I think I've ever watched. That felt like an absolute normal middle of a season episode that was totally whatever, fine. Like, the fact that was a finale to a season of HBO's The Last of Us is like, man, that hurts. That hurts.
I think even if they had been like, this is the mid-season finale, and wait a month and then, or 2 months, or even 3 months,
Squid Game style, wait 6 months,
the next 7 episodes. Great.
Exactly. Great. Yeah.
First time chatter Blade Runner MX has another take I agree with. If they show Abby's motivation from the get-go, then intercut her story now. Don't make us wait 2 years for that side of the story. What a stupid decision. I agree. I think they should have intercut in the season between Abby and Ellie.
Yeah.
Because, like, now Caitlin Dever shows up and I'm like, so now I have to wait 2 years, and also I fucking hate Abby.
Yeah.
Because I don't really...
Killed... Like, if you don't even know they killed Joel and now Jesse, you're like, what? Why do I care?
Yeah.
Why do I care about this?
And the way, like, in the game, you know, she learns halfway through her half of the game, or sorry, we as the audience learns like halfway through her half of the game, right? That Joel killed her dad.
Yeah.
So we have time to enjoy Abby as a person. And then we learn her motivation, and we're like, oh, okay, that endears her even more. Mm-hmm. But with this, it's like, oh, we learn that Joel killed Abby's dad in the hospital, and we're not endeared to Abby in any way. So I'm still like, okay, fuck her.
Yeah.
Kill her ass. I don't care. Like, it's just so odd. It's
exactly.
So odd.
Because I'm cool with slow burn narratives, but, like, living in this age... You can only hold my attention for so long with a show emotionally. You know, those emotional stakes kind of dissipate as time goes on. If you're asking any human being that is not a die-hard fan of a show to wait 2 years, you're really
you're crazy.
Like, that is really presumptuous, HBO.
Yeah.
Like, everything about this production is like, we're going to take the entire audience for granted. That's how it really felt.
I think there are two different structures that could have worked really well.
Yeah, but Ninja Kitty, for Game of Thrones, it's like anytime you're 7 years deep in something, you're committed till the end. This was season 2.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Over 2 years we waited now for this little section of the story, and now we have to wait 2 more years. It's just like, it's crazy. Bad storytelling. It's bad production, and it's taking the audience for granted, and it's offensive, honestly. It truly is. Like, hey, you better stay subbed to HBO Max for as long as possible. We're just gonna keep like milking the treadmill, have something every couple months to kind of just keep you on. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So, okay, I think two different, if I was in this writer's room, the two like different structures I would pitch is, one, the end of the 7 episodes ends with Joel dying. We don't see Abby at all until she kills Joel. And we spend, a ton of time with side stories and, all like character building. We really get to know Jesse. We really get to know Dina. We really get like all these interpersonal relationships. And it's these, we even get side bottle episodes like we did in season 1.
Yeah.
Or we spend 1 episode in Jackson. He dies at the end of episode 1. And then we're in Seattle the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean,
but
I could
not
do
this. This was a damn mess. Why did we spend half the season in fucking Jackson?
I could do what if forever. I just know whatever they did, it didn't work. I mean, I'm not the writer, producer of this show, but I just know as a show adaptation that this just it didn't work, Gabby. It just didn't work. And I love that I see The Walking Dead in the chat, because I'm never gonna miss a chance to praise The Walking Dead at one time, one of the biggest success. The show is still on. Love it or hate it, The Walking Dead is a success, and I thought of it many times during this season of The Last of Us, and how The Walking Dead gets so much shit all the time, and it's like, dude, there are so many times in that show where I am like on the edge of my seat, life or death. Holy shit, dude. Even if I know what's going to happen on a rewatch, this season of The Last of Us, there was no tension. There were no stakes. You fundamentally fail there. Right there.
Yeah.
I of course I've played The Last of Us many times, so I know the spoilers. That's definitely a factor, I will admit. That's going to be a factor. But truly, I have rewatched things and replayed things my whole life and still feel the stakes and the urgency. I never felt any kind of danger, Gabby. There was never any danger.
Yeah.
And The Last of Us itself is known to be like, even though it's one of the most mainstream things ever, it's also one of the grittiest and brutal and darkest things ever. We forget that sometimes because it's so popular and mainstream, but it is hard freaking core. And I never really felt that once this entire season. So that also bums me out.
Yeah. Like, HBO can afford to be so brutal, and they just like weren't. Like, this isn't cable TV. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And they were just like, who cares? Like, the first season was
amazing.
Phoenix
I love
said,
season 1.
The season lacked grit.
Yeah, it did. Season 1 was great. I always backed it, dude. Every episode, season 1, I backed. Great season. There were episodes in this season that you and I backed. So I resent that you say I'm lost in the sauce, because I feel like we had a lot of ups and downs this season. I
didn't say that.
No. Someone in chat. We had
I know. For future, for people watching this later.
Yeah. We had a lot of ups and downs, but I think even last week we said how much was going to ride on this finale. And I think this finale is a failure as a finale of this season of a show. Full stop.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, level-headed take. I did not think this was a good episode or a good season finale whatsoever.
Yeah. Shall we go through the episode?
Yes, please.
To go through
you're driving.
Okay.
I didn't take notes. You're driving.
Yeah.
What is next?
So we got a hint of something that I do like in the show when Ellie goes to visit Dina when she's in the dressing room, where she's like realizing that she kind of like how easy it was to take someone's life.
Of course.
Iconic when she didn't moment. Need to, when it wasn't protective. Yeah. I like that. I liked that she told Dina what happened with Joel. I thought that was interesting. It was just a good choice, I think, or a different from the game choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next okay. So Dina, when Jesse and Ellie are about to leave, and Dina gives the bracelet to Ellie.
Yeah.
That in the game is so meaningful because we have seen Dina talk about her faith, and she's a Sephardic Jew, which is a very small population, especially in the United States.
Yeah.
And so, you go to the synagogue, it's such a beautiful scene.
Totally.
And then she gives her this this Hamsa, this like evil eye, hand of Miriam, and it's like, oh wow, she's connected to her faith. This is important to her. Like, this is something she's giving to Ellie. But in this, she's not
none
Jewish.
None of that.
Yeah, so none of that is there. I mean, maybe she is, but she doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, I guess there's a bracelet.
Like, cool. Like, what are we like? Yeah, like promise ring, middle school shit. Like, okay. That was the vibe there.
Yeah.
Like, here's your promise ring, Ellie. Okay.
Yeah.
It's no emotion.
And it's all like, not to harp on how much better the game is than this episode, but like, there's so much, being a Sephardic Jewish person in the United States, you are like, I won't say one of one, but sometimes it can feel like you are one of one. And then Ellie being, this immune person, she feels one of one. Totally. So it's like,
the bond
just so meaningful in the game.
Of course. Yeah. And you get none of that.
Yeah.
You get none of that in the show.
Oh, back to something I loved. I loved how pissed Jesse is at Ellie.
Always.
And I liked how kind of nasty he was to her.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Same in the game.
Says Jesse's actor carried this episode.
He carried the whole season. Right. He carried the whole season. He was flawless, no notes, Jesse. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
He was brilliant.
10 out of 10.
So brilliant.
Absolute 10 out of 10. My man. Loved it.
If you don't mind my asking, Gabby, are you a part of that community? What? Sephardic Judaism? No. But I grew up around Jewish people. No, I'm not. But thank you for asking. I like that we saw the collapsed bridge.
Sure.
That was cool. That was a great shot.
Some of the shots. I'm gonna push back here actually on chat as well. Somebody earlier I saw that like, oh, there were some really good shots. You know what? No.
Oh, I thought there were some really
No.
good shots.
I'm actually gonna push back here. Again, we are dealing with the highest budget, the highest quality possible. We are on HBO's flagship show. It should be the best we've seen. It is May 25th, 2025. You should continually be looking better if you are some HBO blockbuster flagship show. I thought it looked fine. I thought there were no iconic, like, Not as good as Game of Thrones, not as good as Breaking Bad, not as good as Andor, not as good as the competition. I know that sometimes we are allowed to watch a thing and not compare it to other things, but I'm also going to hold it accountable, and I'm going to hold it to a higher standard, it being the highest budget possible. The Last of Us on HBO. Yeah. I was not impressed.
Yeah, I thought some of the I disagree. I understand your take, but I think some of the Seattle shots were really cool, and I think when she's Manny Cordova said it. When she is on the boat traveling to the aquarium, I thought there were some really, really cool like lightning strikes that were like lighting up the city behind it. I thought that was really cool.
For me, all of those shots looked like they were on a set. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. We can debate that forever. You can enjoy those shots if you want. That's fine. But for me personally, I look at it and I see that's the separation there. That's the separation, is like they're here on this set and everything past that is CG, whatever. Moving on from that.
Okay. When Ellie looked at that like graffiti and she was like, there's more than one of her, what does that mean?
With
the graffiti said like feel her love, and it was the image of
Yeah. I didn't maybe I was looking down at that time. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
There was like graffiti of the lady. Yeah, chat help. What the fuck?
Yeah, multiple like a new person? One, like a new one took over. Yeah. Bizarre.
Okay.
More.
That's interesting, but I don't really care.
Yeah, hey, we have seasons to tell stories about, so we need more content. Let's add another prophet to kill 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
Oh, okay. Phoenix said, yeah, she looked like a black lady this time. Oh, I guess I just didn't realize we had seen the other lady, but that makes sense. Okay, more than one prophet.
Definitely content.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you need for the television storytelling vibe, I guess you need like a central Seraphite antagonist. Is that why we're going to introduce another prophet? Because in the game, the prophet's not there, so there is no prophet.
She's dead.
Yeah, but for the show, I guess now we need... Gotta have some episodes about that, or else people would be confused. I don't know.
I gotta point out, Twitch keeps blocking people's messages when they just describe a person as being black. That's okay, Twitch. We're a little overzealous there, so I'm sorry if I miss anyone's message, but I'm trying to allow them. Oh, okay. And then we get to the scene where Ellie tries to go after that. I wrote, why would Ellie ever go after him? Who cares? Like, she knows that would the Seraphite boy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Why would that ever happen?
Yeah.
Like,
again, in the behind the scenes, they were like, hey, we cut the content of Ellie going to Scar Island, and we really wanted to play with that and explore that. Good. Fucking cut it. You fucking need editors sometimes, dude. There can be a thing called too much. There can be a thing called too much. Like, it is this whole season was all over the place, dude. It was the most unwieldy, chaotic season of a television show I've ever watched, dude. Full on. I swear I'm not being irrational or emotional. I'm thinking so level-headed. As a lover
indulgent in all the wrong ways.
Indulgent, Gabby. Thank you. Absolutely. That was absurd, dude. Ellie has a little side trip over to Scar Island for 7 minutes to stare at some kid that's like Craig Mazin, even in this world, kids are brought up to kill the other. Like, no shit, Mazin, we fucking know. Jeez. Yeah.
Right, like we watched Ellie, a child, kill. But yeah, in the behind the scenes, like, you know, we thought about exploring this thing where Ellie you know, goes to the Cervat Island, and so we were really excited to explore that in the show. Okay, you didn't explore it. She was there for 2 minutes and then she left. That's not exploring it.
No reason. Just
So
you know what
weird.
I thought of, Gabby? I thought of it just for the scene in season 3 when the exact same thing happens to Abby, and then we're like, oh, they're the same. The same thing happened to Ellie. The same thing happened to Abby. Oh, they're actually not that different from one another. Oh, like that was literally the only reason. Insanity, dude. Absolute insanity.
Yeah. I also we're all blaming Craig Mazin for shit. I'm not necessarily sure.
Chernobyl is the absolute greatest limited series of all time. Any day of the week, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm just judging this show.
The show could have been great, and then it got studio noted to death. Like that happens all the time,
for sure.
So I'm not comfortable with us blaming Craig Mazin in particular.
I think I like blaming.
It's Neil too.
I think I like
blaming.
Gross,
it's everyone.
I think I like blaming Mazin because he's already dominated with Chernobyl. So I was like, he can take it. He can take our criticism. He can handle it.
I guess. But
and he's the showrunner.
It's just
the buck stops there. He wrote every single episode of this season of television. He wrote every single episode. Absolutely, if anybody is to blame about anything, if we're blaming, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm critiquing a show on its quality. If there's any kind of connective tissue,
and I'm just saying, like, to put all of that on just Craig is crazy. Like, having worked on TV shows that were studio noted to death, and then those people get blamed for the show being bad. Like,
for sure,
Warner Brothers is not notoriously cool about studio notes.
but at the same time, like, when a show like
fucking crazy.
At the same time, when a show like Chernobyl is an 11 out of 10, who gets all the credit? Craig Mazin. So, like, you give and take, dude. You give and take. Show is good. You praise that person. Show is bad. Like, the director, showrunner, writer, they are the ones who get the most heat and also the most praise. I think it's absolutely fair to.
Yeah, but well, I'm just saying that it's not. You can do it, but it's not fair.
Like, You're right.
Yeah, Craig Mazin gets credit for the episode, but like my friend just wrote on a show and wrote multiple episodes that she's not getting credit for. So like,
yeah,
shit happens all the time.
Uncredited.
Yeah.
Uncredited writers.
Anyway, so I wrote Costco. We saw Costco. Did you notice that?
Yeah, Costco.
Yeah.
Love Costco.
Jeffrey Wright.
Always the best.
Grounding presence.
Underutilized this season.
So sinister. And why I didn't understand that scene though. Like he's perfect. I literally will accept no criticism of Jeffrey Wright. But what the fuck was he talking about with Abby being like the chosen one or whatever? What did that mean?
Just some TV bullshit. Like, oh, she was gonna take over. Like. She was the number 2. So what? You're like going on a suicide mission. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. So like you expect to die going to the island, Isaac, but she's gonna live and she's gonna take over. Like, what are you even talking about, dude? That's why this season of television fails. I will not take any other take. Truly.
Yeah. Like
truly.
In the game, she's like a big bitch, you know what I mean? Like she's muscular, she could beat anyone up.
In the game,
so it makes sense that Isaac's like she's the next one, she's gonna take over. But she's like a tiny little girl.
Yes,
like I'm like I could beat her ass.
In the game, my vibe had always been that she's like the number 1 captain of the squad, dude. She's like the captain of SEAL Team 6, and that she was important because of that.
And you walk by a board that says that she's done like more push-ups than everyone else in the WLF.
Yeah.
Like in the game. So she's a badass.
Exactly.
And she's stronger than anyone else.
Soldier. Exactly. Yep.
But like in this, I'm like, I just don't believe it.
That's why I think they had to go more towards the brains instead of the brawn. Because it's more believable.
Record. Thank you, Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you. It's more believable as a TV show if you sell her than little Caitlin Dever. No offense, my favorite. I'm obsessed with her. You can also never criticize her. I'm obsessed with her. Unbelievable. The second
it
best
has nothing to
series.
Do with performance.
But yeah, it's an easier sell if you sell her as like some tactician mastermind, some
like Terminator
group leader. People follow her. I think that's an easier sell than her just like being a stone cold killer.
It's also just like the difference in body types from Ellie to Abby is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just another commentary on different people's reactions to growing up in the apocalypse. You know, like Abby decided, I'm gonna get fucking ripped.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to hurl people across the room.
No doubt.
And Ellie was like, I'm a rogue. It's barbarian versus rogue.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak in with my little knife.
Yeah, exactly. And like both are equally effective. It's just, you know, different reactions.
Different battle types.
Different movesets.
Different movesets. 100%. 100.
Oh, I kind of liked this scene in the lobby. Or I'm sorry, not in the lobby, in the library, the bookstore. Just because I just like to see Jesse. I like to see Jesse like do things 100%. And have scenes and act. And I wrote because when he was like, "You only care about yourself," I wrote, "Oop, get her ass."
Yeah, get her ass. Again, another one of the best scenes in the game is when he fucking leaves her, dude. He leaves. That's so good. And like, and I know chat and I know viewers, like, there's just so much commentary on like game versus show, game versus show, game versus show, but like trying to remove the game element of it all and your history with the game, I wasn't emotionally invested in Jesse leaving her because of this season. There was like,
and I have more to say about that later, but keep going.
A successful season of a show makes it so when Jesse leaves there, you are gutted. You are like, oh my God.
Yes.
He left her behind enemy lines. Like, holy shit, also, after everything that has gone down. And it was just like, I'm leaving, like, bye. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. And it's also like, you're like, oh shit, I didn't expect him to leave and now I'm alone. It's also that kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm in danger. Mm-hmm. And now in this is like, okay, sure. Yeah. But I really liked their performances in this scene in particular. This conversation, 10. This back and forth that they had when they're like overlooking the water and stuff. I thought that was a really beautiful, because I also wrote, oop, get his ass.
Get his ass.
Get his ass.
Yeah.
Because she was like that, you know, yeah. They're like
how
about
dare
you and all that. That was really
hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Like, oh, I like that she called him Saint Jesse of Wyoming.
Yeah. That was good.
I liked that. I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Another thing I really liked when the walkie-talkie started going off and it was like, oh, there's a sniper who's picking people off, and they were like, oh my God, it's Tommy. I really liked that. I got chills in that moment because it was
Love
like,
it.
We're gonna see Tommy the sniper, but then we didn't.
Hell yeah.
But I guess
next season. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Rat King is anything less than 1,000 out of 10, I'm never watching again.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So all my hopes, dude. I'm all in on the Rat King at this point. Pushing all my chips in the middle.
I said really beautiful shots in the thunderstorm, but obviously you disagree.
Didn't do it for me.
We'd already talked about the Seraphite Island and how stupid that was.
So
okay,
dumb.
the aquarium.
Can't have Ellie kill a dog, everybody. It villainized her too much.
I do think it's a lot harder to watch someone kill a dog on television than it is to
because Ellie,
because it's attacking you in the game. I didn't mind that.
I guess. Fine.
We already talked positive. Might as well we just talked about it.
Fine. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. I think it's just...
If you wanted positive, it was
choice.
last week. Last week was solid. I liked it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
It was, again, I just think there's no impact to the kill, man. And that is what this is all about, dude. That is what this entire fucking show is about, is murder. It is death. It is taking a life for revenge. And like, I did not feel any emotion whatsoever about the loss of Mel and Owen. We've seen them on screen for 10 seconds at this point.
Yeah.
As a viewer, as a bystander, that is different than that is absolutely different in the video game because you are the one pulling the trigger in the game. That is you. I am watching this person.
Yeah. Fair.
It is different, and I just felt absolutely no emotion because of the lack of buildup and the lack of emotions conveyed with Mel and Owen and Ellie to a degree as well.
Wait, Fatal the Baptist makes such a good point that I didn't even think of. Why would Owen try that move with Mel in the line of fire? Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane, dude.
That's
insane.
His baby in there. That's his baby. That's his unborn child, and he's like diving out of the way for a gun.
Yeah. And like can't have
shit killed.
Yeah. Can't have Ellie stab her either, dude. It's got to be some ricochet bullet. Just like doing everything they can to protect her image is kind of like adding
collateral damage.
It's really adding up, you know. I give so much leeway with things where it's like, okay. But like the continual like Ellie sympathizing with random strangers and not killing dogs and accidentally killing Mel, like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Heroic Ellie 100% hero. Cool.
In the behind the scenes they were talking about like the concept of collateral damage, which I think is a good thing to explore.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it was explored that well. Like, okay.
Fatal Baptist, great take. It's like WWE pushing a character and the audience is not buying it, dude. It's Roman Reigns, freaking mid-2010s, dude. Absolutely. They are pushing Roman Reigns and we will not have it.
Whoa. Holy shit. Fatal the Baptist, that's awesome. That's brilliant.
It's what it is. Good. They're just pandering.
Good. Continue to pander. Yeah.
Also, a distressing lack of shotguns again. Remember I said that in season 1? Actually, I just want to go back to season 1 being like, hey, we didn't really get any shotgun action. I'd like that in season 2. We just went through all of season 2. A distressing lack of shotgun kills. What in the world? They need James Cameron, dude. Shotgun enthusiast.
Oh.
What they need.
Okay.
They need a shotgun enthusiast to tell them what's up.
What did you think about the when Mel was like, cut the baby out of me?
I really love her because she's in Runaways. Shout out Marvel's Runaways, 10 out of 10 show.
Oh.
So I do have some bias with that actor.
Well, not the actress.
I liked it. I like that scene, actually. I do like it. I liked it. It was different.
I thought it was interesting. I'm not sure if I liked it.
I thought it was one of those times, like we've been talking about this season, where it like did something different to serve the show in an effective way.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, like, show storytelling. I was like, I dig this. I like it. Yeah.
But I also think that doesn't work at all unless Mel is collateral damage. But at the same time, it's like, we're supposed to be like, oh no, Mel's collateral damage. Like, she was there too.
Mm-hmm.
when Joel was getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
So I'm a little like, not that like, oh, she deserves it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
she's also not innocent.
Yeah.
Like, her baby is innocent. Yeah, but also like, bitch, you're pregnant and you fucking were hiking out in the woods.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Stay home. Yeah. Stay home.
Like, whatever.
Also,
sometimes you need to go home.
Yeah. Also, season 3 is coming. Their entire side of the story is coming. Now, just like the video game, that second half can really color and change and, to some people, redeem. I love Last of Us Part 2, Abby all the way. That part can redeem a lot of the initial part of Last of Us. You know, it is very much the second half of this one story. I absolutely think a Caitlin Dever-led season 3 can fucking slay. But with that being said, I do not think that this season on its own was a good season of television. I just really want to get that across. That I absolutely think next season can color the whole thing and make the whole thing incredible. But as this season on its own, I cannot in good conscience recommend it to somebody to even watch. I would be like, it's okay. With so many video games and so many movies and so many shows out there, there's just infinite competition competing for your time. At the end of the day, I would be like, wait and see. At this point, wait and see.
Yeah. And speaking of structure, the theater.
We knew it would end.
First of all,
we knew it would.
One of my yeah, that's true. Oh, I will say I like that. Wait, is it just Joel? Or I'm sorry, is it just Tommy that comes to get Ellie in the game at the aquarium?
And Jesse, both.
Tommy and
both. Yeah, both.
It is okay. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So okay, the theater. This conversation made absolutely no sense. So when he says like, "Oh, you would set the world on fire to save me," would she? She's been nothing but disrespectful to you since day one. I was like, I don't even. Are you guys friends?
So, Gabby, here's actually. Oh, this is a great example. I'm glad you brought this up. This is actually where a scene where I questioned my bias. Because I, as a gamer, knew that she absolutely would, Ellie there, 100 million %, would kill every man, woman, and child to save Jesse. So I just bought it as a show watcher. But would not do non-gamers feel the same way there? I don't know. I'm a little biased there. I'm a little biased. Yeah, I'm a little biased there. I don't trust myself.
Like, if the show was structured better, we get like a whole episode, one of those 3 episodes where we're fucking wasting time in Jackson. Maybe it's the first episode in my ideal world where Joel gets killed at the end of the first episode. I think. Did he die at the end of episode 2?
Joel, yeah.
Or 3?
2 or 3?
Okay.
2 or 3.
So
I think 2.
So to me, episode 1 is almost entirely Ellie and Jesse bonding, and we see that they're really, really good friends. So then we give a shit.
Yeah.
When Jesse feels betrayed and angry, and we're like, oh fuck, like I want them to be besties again. And then like I actually believe it when Jesse's like, you would set the world on fire to save me. Because in this, like, literally the first time we see Jesse, I mean, I guess he's like helping do the boxing thing, but like they're like sitting on horses and they're just being rude to him. And they're like, Jesse, you're just a fucking dork for following the rules. And she's so nasty to him. So I'm
we're sometimes the nastiest to the ones we love the most.
Yeah, but we don't see her loving him the most.
Yeah.
We don't see that.
That's we never got it.
In the text.
We never got it.
So I'm like...
we never got it.
Yeah.
Would have loved the mythical 8th episode that got deleted that was just Jackson patrols.
Jesse backstory.
Jackson patrols. If we're spending 3 episodes in Jackson, how are we not getting like a nice little patrol Jesse episode? Jesse, anything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude.
We didn't get a Jesse episode.
Jesse underutilized. He was this big. He was this big finale death, and like, if you aren't connected to him in the game, I feel like you're not really feeling much. I really want to get. I'm really bummed because my parents haven't watched this season yet. I would love to pick their brain about this because I don't really know anyone in real life that is only watching the show, so I can't ask anybody right now. But yikes.
Yeah. I also like, here's the thing, that episode I was talking about, that's just that dream episode, that's just an Ellie and Jesse episode, that could also be, if we don't waste so much time in Jackson, that could be a full episode of them in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse and Ellie.
Yeah.
And then we really get their connection, and we get that they're friends. They talk about being friends when they were younger. Like, anything.
Because it comes back to this specific season. It all comes back to this specific season being a failure because we spent so much time with Tommy and Maria. And while that, again, may pay off in season 3, it served absolutely no function in this season. It needed to be Jesse because that was the big climax. That was the big culmination at the end of this season that we never got. We wasted time on Tommy and Maria for future payoffs.
And what's crazy is even if the season is 10 episodes long, I'm like, so much time is being wasted. Like, even if the show's 10 episodes long, 3 episodes in Jackson is still really crazy. That's like, okay, kind of, it's like first act of the season.
I will give a little leeway for setting up.
Still.
I give a little leeway for like setting up a season 3, a little bit, but you cannot compromise this season we're on, and it absolutely did. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bummer. Didn't really even get a lot of good infected stuff. I mean, the stalkers were sick. But like, wow, after season 1, I was like, I really hope we get it. When was
the last time we saw a zombie?
Yeah, after season 1, I was like, man, season 2, we better get so many infected. That'll be sick. Like, okay. What?
Did we see a...
Okay.
Did we see a zombie? When was the last time we saw a zombie?
Maybe last episode? I don't know, man.
No, there definitely wasn't one last episode.
Before that. Episode 5, probably. Yeah, 5. Eugene.
What happened in episode 5?
No, that was 6.
No, that was the last episode.
Episode 6 for Eugene. Doesn't even matter, man. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's try to end on a positive note.
And on a positive note, Joel was a 10 out of 10.
Well,
Jesse, the acting was a 10 out of 10. I feel like they really didn't do him a service in the finale. I feel like they let him down as writers.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved Isaac, but again, underutilized.
100%.
Underutilized.
Yep. They had him for one day.
Yep, they had him for a day.
1 8-hour day with a lunch break.
Yep. Like he was finishing his ham sandwich for Crafty, and they were nervous. They were like, "We really need to get you on set."
Yeah, they were like, "Okay, we're rushing him on set. We're yelling action the second he steps on because he's got to go do other stuff."
In hindsight, in this moment, Gabby, I'm a flamethrower enthusiast. That was cool, I guess.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think there was a bad performance in the lot at all. It has nothing to do with the performances. I think. Maybe you disagree.
No, I thought every actor killed.
Yeah, I think everyone is really, really
100%.
really talented, really believable.
Yeah. And I really liked the Stalkers. I loved the Stalkers.
Yeah.
I thought they were absolutely a 10 out of 10, especially coming from someone who lamented and has been physically pained by Tyrant and Liquor and any kind of Resident Evil bioweapon adaptation. I thought the Stalkers here were incredible. So thank you very much, HBO. Well done.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. No Shamblers. Hopefully Abby will encounter a Shambler. Again, it's all season 3.
Wait, what was the one in the beginning that in the like town battle episode? What was that guy?
Bloater. Yeah.
Bloaters and Shamblers are like the same size, right?
Yeah. Big hulking beasts. Big hulking beasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bloater will charge you and throw projectiles at you, and the Shambler will charge and explode at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Bloater's maybe like a tiny bit bigger, but they're both hulking
but
beasts.
They're both big.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That was The Last of Us Season 2. A ton of ups and downs. I think they were so close.
High highs and low lows.
There were high highs and low
the
lows.
The highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Yeah. I think Season 1 was great. I think Season 2 was not great. But I'm still hyped for Season 3 now. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm sad. I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sad. I'll be there day 1. I'm committed, of course.
We'll do this again.
In 2 years. Straight up. 2 years from now, dude. This season took over 2 years. For this. Over 2 years for this.
Yeah. This is a good question. What do you guys think of it taking 4 seasons to tell or 2 more seasons to tell the rest of the story? That's Ingredient Reader.
It makes me semi disgusted, because if you ask me right now, okay, you say point blank, what if scenarios? Okay? What if Season 3 is 7 episodes, Abby, Seattle, day 1, 2, 3, it ends in the exact same place?
And you'll be upset.
I would be furious. I would be furious. I'm honestly gonna bet that I'm gonna bet right now that it is Abby, Seattle, 1, 2, 3, but we get the fight between them is the difference, and that's how the season ends.
I think it'll be episodes 1 through 5, or is it 7? We don't even know. If it's 7 episodes again, then my guess is 1 through 5, because I think there's a lot more plot stuff to get through with Abby, because we don't know her, Yeah. So there's a lot more establishing emotional connections.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing 5 episodes are Abby. Maybe we get a flashback episode, etc. And then last 2, we're not getting Santa Barbara. We might get the farm.
I guess
I don't really see why we wouldn't.
We could get the farm. I could see that. If I was a normie and this ended like this, cliffhanger ending after 2 years, I would be even more mad. Are you kidding me? I would be even more angry with how mid this season was. Like, that is offensive. We need to stop doing this, and we cannot accept this, dude. These wait 2 years, 3 years for a season that just cliffhanger endings to the next, dude. It is not right. It is a system of streaming culture and digital fucking shows, man. It is not okay. I do not like it. Like, do you remember when a season of a show felt complete? That is so rare now. That is so rare. A beginning, middle, and end to a season that is not beholden to what came before or what is to come. Is that really so much to ask? I really don't think it is. Crazy.
Wait, a whole season of television that's not beholden to the previous season?
Yeah, dude.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Dude, the best TV, sure, like even Lost will build on a previous season, but each season will tell its story. You will have a resolution at the end of your season.
I mean, in theory, an episode has a 3 or 5x structure. A season has a 3 or 5x structure, and a series structure. So yeah, there should be arcs. There should be like complete stories.
Yeah, I just really feel like there was no arc here, and it was entirely
but
part of a season to come, and that's not right. I just don't think it's right.
Yeah, it was underbaked.
Yep.
It didn't prove long enough, as they say in Great British Baking Show.
Yeah, see you in 2 years. Like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm patient. I'll wait.
But
I'll be
Huber,
there.
You can't be like, oh, it looks like shit. And then you don't want them to take 2 years.
Then make a 12 episode season or something, or at least the season have a good ending.
But then that'll take 2 years.
I don't mind.
I'm just
no, because I'm glad you called me out, because at the same time, like, if I never mind. The waiting is not the issue. It's I will wait 10 years for Avatar 2 even more, like I did, because there's because it's a complete movie, because it's a complete thing. There's a beginning, middle, and an end. I waited for this thing. I saw it. It's over. It's done. I'm glad I waited. Cool. This really felt like there was that was just another episode of TV right there that we just watched.
Well, I said it at the beginning of our spoiler mode. Like, there's a difference between a season finale cliffhanger that's like, oh my god, I can't wait until, like, the season finale of season 1 of Severance. Incredible cliffhanger, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it makes you angry that there's not more.
Yeah,
but it also makes you want to watch more,
because you're wanting more.
At the end of this, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm just like, so totally, so right, straight up.
Yeah. Wait, also someone said something about Severance having the same problem, but Severance was not delayed because of like graphic stuff. Just have to.
Yeah, visuals is a personal preference. Don't take my word for it. I just thought it didn't look great, but other people did. That's on you. It doesn't matter one way or the other. I wish I liked it. So good on you who did.
I did think seeing the behind the scenes of how they did the water scenes was really cool.
Sure. That was cool. Filming on that little set like they did. This whole season.
The gimbal, they called it, the dry gimbal. Yeah.
You know who should have done this?
Yeah, there was some practical stuff.
You know who should have done this season was Terrence Malick, chat. What about that? Terrence Malick directs some episodes of The Last of Us. I feel like his sensibilities would have played well here. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Terrence Malick.
You're asking me? Oh.
Just straight up.
Never seen a Terrence Malick movie.
Terrence Malick, dude. Long, drawn-out, introspective shots. It would work.
Okay.
Okay. All right, chat. All right, Gabby. Any final thoughts as we wind down this finale of the season 2 of The Last of Us?
I love The Last of Us as a story. I think, okay. I love The Last of Us as a story. I think this season fails as a season, but it's something that we can revisit as a piece of storytelling when third season comes out. I don't think we should blame Craig Mazin for everything. But that's not to say that I think we should blame Neil Druckmann or we should blame Hallie Gross. But we shouldn't blame the writers. Writers have some power, as do showrunners, but they don't have as much power as people do. And stick with it. We'll see what season 3 brings.
Absolutely. Good message. Stick with it. Would have liked some more emotions. Would have liked less ham-fisted messaging. Really ham-fisting it.
More show don't tell.
Please, more have some faith in your audience. I ask in season 3, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like, why do you not trust the audience to comprehend basic human emotions? Because that's really how it feels. So, yeah, I hope they level up the writing in terms of not beating us over the head with the messaging, and just give us more emotions and always more infected. Really, really could use more infected throughout.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We love the infected.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is a show about, or this is a piece of media about zombies. So,
of course, always gonna shout out.
Let's bring the zombies back.
Bring them back. Bring them out. Always gonna shout out to The Walking Dead any time I can, because people love to hate The Walking Dead, and it is incredible. So don't knock it till you try it. The Walking Dead, top tier. Seriously, Last of Us could take some notes. How to have real stakes. Look at that. Immediately, Walking Dead sucks, dude, in chat. They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know.
Stop.
They don't know. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Watch Lost. Those are some good cliffhangers.
Sure.
Yeah, cliffhangers can be done well. And one other thing I'll reiterate. A lot of people that I'm seeing talking about this show have gamer brain. And they need to throw that away, because your takes are stupid.
I have always wanted the gamer version of a show like this, though, where Ellie goes through an environment for 30 minutes not saying a word, picking up bullets and scrap.
Okay.
Have the guts to fucking do one episode like that. I dare you. Have the guts. One episode like that, dude. She needs to get to the aquarium. Guess what? You're about to watch a 45-minute dark Apocalypse Now style odyssey where she is traversing into the woods, covering herself in mud, stabbing people in the throat, finding bullets. Like, let's go. That's what I want.
Well, I think we can have that like the episode I was talking about where just Ellie and Jesse for an hour. Like, it can be, it's not no dialogue, as you were saying, but
yeah,
like you can have kind of both things, and it achieves what you're talking about.
Definitely.
People are having these emotional conversations, like the conversations they were having in episode 6 that we like so much, while we're also getting the grittiness of the post-apocalypse.
Because then you feel it. You live in that moment, Gabby. Like, again, not even trolling now. Walking Dead does that sometimes, where like somebody just needs to go get something, and you spend grounded time in that moment with danger all around, and you feel that person struggle to get through a thing. Ellie never struggled. This whole season, there was no struggle. Yeah. That is, you struggle through The Last of Us, dude, for that revenge. You are so in it, man. Like, the hell she goes through to get revenge was never felt here, dude. It was never felt. It was a cakewalk. It was an absolute cakewalk.
Yeah. And especially since season 1 felt like such a kind of slog in a good way. Like, oh, we're really walking across the country, or riding across the country, or whatever, driving. It, really felt like this extended journey from point A to point B. And there's so much traveling, but we don't see any of it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like anyone is traveling a far distance. Like,
no.
when you are are playing the game in Seattle and you see something in the distance, and then you play the game for an hour climbing around, whatever, and then you see it again and it's still in the distance.
Still in the distance, a little bit closer,
like,
but like, holy shit.
It feels like I've been...
Yeah. Dude, it was... we
right.
honestly got that Game of Thrones later season vibe with her going to the island. She's here, and then she goes to the island, and then she goes to the aquarium, and then she's back to the theater in like 13 minutes. 13 minutes. So like narratively, again, we're just not allowed to feel that journey whatsoever. You know, it really has nothing to do with the editing process. It has everything to do with like, as a viewer, I'm not allowed to feel that length and that distance.
Well, I think a huge part of what people didn't like about Last of Us 2, but also I think low-key they didn't understand about Last of Us episode 2 is that it's supposed to be a slog. And you're supposed to be actively like, Ellie, why the fuck are you doing this at the end? Like, why are you continuing to go through with this? It's not worth it anymore to you as a person. And we're just not getting that.
Are you talking about killing Nora? What are you talking about?
No, all of it.
Episode 2, you were saying?
Like in the game. Oh, I'm sorry. When I said episode 2, I meant part 2, the game.
Part 2. Oh, okay. Part 2. Got it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. For sure.
Phoenix, we're on the same page. Phoenix has made such good points this entire time.
Yeah. Phoenix knows what's up.
Yeah.
Dude, all we can hope for is season 3. That's it. All we can hope for. We've lost the first leg of the parlay, and now we're hoping for season 3. So, to really save us, dude. Honestly, the parlay is busted now with season 2. Season 3 is on a salvage mission.
Yeah. We're just trying to break even.
Yeah. Trying to break even. The Rat King will save us or break us, dude. Make or break Rat King. Swear to God, dude. I swear to God, anything less than the best. I swear to God Almighty, man. The Rat King. You have no excuses. You have all the money and all the popularity and all the access of the best. You have the history, you have the concept art, you have it all.
Yeah.
You have every reason to make the Rat King the best.
Yeah.
Don't fuck me.
Ow.
Do not fuck me.
Yeah. I just thought of another cool way to structure the season. Sorry, we're fucking rambling at this point, but
it's the finale.
Another cool way to structure the season. But what if it started? These are just like, I'm in the writer's room, we're brainstorming. Like, we start in Seattle, and you only learn about Joel's death from flashbacks.
I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like it. You're going to kill Joel in a flashback? No.
Well, no, it might be a whole episode, but it's like you start in Seattle.
Yeah. Maybe invert it. Maybe start with Abby. Who knows? Again, I'm never ever you should have done this, you should have done that. I am only qualified to critique what was in front of me and give you a emotional and level-headed journalistic thought about it. And I feel like I've done that, chat and viewers, for these 7 episodes of Last of Us. I've given you level-headedness. I've given you emotion. And I don't know what they could have changed. I can just tell you what did it and didn't work. That's it.
Yeah. I'm okay with telling them what I think should have changed.
I like it. I'll be doing the same if they fuck with
this. I have a degree.
I'll be doing the same if they fuck with the Rat King, Gabby. I'll tell you that right now. Straight up. Yeah. So I'll say at the end of the day, I was a bit disappointed. It wasn't a complete train wreck because there were ups and downs, a couple high highs, as we know. Catherine O'Hara, shout out. We didn't mention her once today yet. 10 out of 10. Absolutely perfect.
Also underutilized.
Perfect. Every second of Pedro was also a 1,000,000 out of 10. Perfect. Yeah, Jesse, of course, pretty much everything except kind of this little bit of the ending emotional payoffs didn't hit, but him as well, 10 out of 10. Dina, 10 out of 10. Bella Ramsey, 10 out of 10. Like, everyone was so, so good. Just kind of a lack of...
Jeffrey Wright, 10
out of 10. Just didn't really hit the emotions like so many of us wanted to and were expecting. But until next time, until season 3, we'll see. Because, for better and for worse, this season is very contingent on season 3. And no matter what, 5 years from now, when you look back, you will couple them together. But in this moment, it's a failure. But we'll see them together later on, whenever that may be. All right, Gabby.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Just one last. The Japanese dude and Slicker said 10 out of 10 and Shimmer 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
And I agree.
And
Shimmer,
the Stalkers 10 out of 10. We said that earlier too. Yes, incredible. 10 out of 10.
Underutilized.
Incredible.
We'll probably see them a lot in the next season.
Yeah, can I get some shotgun blasts on some clickers, please? Can I get some shotgun blasts, Gabby? Is that too much to ask for? Corporal Hicks in Aliens, eat this, boom. Come on. We need it, dude. We need some more shotguns. We need a flame. We need it all.
Yeah.
We need that Rat King.
We're getting it. We're going to get it.
All right. Well, at least we live in a world where we can get a $100+ million video game adaptation on HBO. Chat, life is good. We'll see you later. Love and respect.
And it's still better than like almost every other video game adaptation.
Straight up. See you later, everybody.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode activated.